Hey guys, welcome back. Time for episode 5. I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overhead view of the city right now because I said I was going to do a little bit of off-camera work. And I did. As you can kind of see, I just basically just filled out a little bit more of this area. Filled in this area right here. And I just went tree crazy again, which is, just my general theme. So, you got to expect it. So, the new stuff we added, you can kind of see just a little bit more streets and some more houses over here. I think it looks pretty nice. A little bit of suburbia kind of feel going on, which was kind of the intention. I like that. And I just filled in this area in terms of trees, so it looks a little bit nicer too. But the good news is that we're at 6,500 people now. And the reason why I have the simulation paused is because you have to see this. Remember I was saying how it was a race against time? So here's our landfill. And this one, as you know, is full. Check this out. 99%. When I saw that, I was like, woohoo! No way. So, yeah, you can't script real life. That was just right down to the wire. Okay, so we've actually unlocked the incinerators, so we can now rectify the problem, but holy smokes, when I saw that, I was like, wow! Can't believe it. Alright, so the very first thing I'm going to do is put an incinerator down. I'm actually going to put a few in. So the incinerators, they do burn garbage and convert it into electricity. So it's kind of like a double win. So we'll put one at each landfill for the moment. So let's do this one across the street. And in this case, what we have to do is we're going to have to click empty building into another facility once this one fills up. And that basically just tells the trucks to start moving the garbage over to the incinerator to get it burned. And we can check now, once the incinerators go online, to see whether or not they're keeping up with how much garbage is coming in. So, wow, that's so close. Can't believe that. Alright, so the good news is we've got our high-density development unlocked. We've got the area basically ready for some upgrading. And hopefully once we do that, we'll see more and more people use this. Because there already are some people starting to make their way over here. And our shops have popped up, so we get a little bit of traffic. There is a mod that you can download to make it to make bus lanes. So theoretically, you could make this bus-only traffic. Or if you didn't zone anything like I did, then there would be no reason for cars to kind of come through. All right, so some last little additions that I did. I made a pedestrian connection right here, so that way people can kind of walk in and just get over to the transportation hub a little bit easier. And I did the same kind of idea, but with a park. Just kind of extended the path behind the building over to this little, spider web of walkways right here. That way, if you want to, you can just walk down the street, just, hop on over and just go to the park. And actually, it'd be kind of cool if I brought one down from up here, but we'll maybe try that later. The goal of this episode is a high-density development. And cue the awesome music. Alright, so let's just dive right into that. And it's pretty I say self-explanatory, but we'll kind of go as we'll run into problems as we go along, I guess is the best way to describe it, and we'll just tackle them together. And then hopefully you guys can learn a thing or two and apply that to your cities. So I've saved up quite a bit of money for us as well, so we can go money crazy. And now that the incinerator they're running, let's see what their efficiency is, because I might actually just toss a third one in. Yeah, you can see we're just below. So this basically means that the incinerator won't keep up with the amount of garbage that the city is generating. So if we didn't have a landfill, the incinerators, they would just fill up and then, well, they would fill up, they would just stop accepting new garbage, and then people would be showing, those kind of symbols, which means their garbage hasn't been picked up. Alright, so what I usually do, just for the sake of simplicity, is I'll put 2 incinerators at each landfill. And you don't actually have to keep the landfills. You can have an incinerator-only city. So what I'll eventually do is get these out of the way. This one did just fill up. Alright, cool. And at this point, now that we're about to put in some high-density development, actually let's check on the incinerator really quickly. Yeah, great. So now we're in the green. That's perfect. So I'm going to pause the simulation because we're going to do a few big upgrades here. mainly, you see how this is essentially like our one road kind of going in and out to like our industrial area. It's about that time that we upgrade this to a 6-lane. And I'm going to choose the one that has a decoration. It does cost a little bit more, but it does look really nice. And we're just going to go the whole way. And especially with the industrial part, it's nice to have that extra lane. So trucks that are doing their drop-offs, they don't really block as much of the traffic. Well, that's nice. It's kind of like a continuation over to this 6-lane. That works really well. And then you know what? Just for the sake of everything looking nice and even Steven, I would like to upgrade this as well. Traffic is not necessarily an issue over here. This is more preemptive. And I just like having the road decorations. And we're going to change this one. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Just so that it has the trees in the center as well. I think that looks really nice. But I do want to put this back to that. There we go. And I want to also upgrade, I believe, this one going across. And we'll put that as a 6-lane as well. Only because, you know, it connects to the highway. We get a lot of traffic through here. And then we'll leave this one just like that. Oh, but you know what, though? Because I do want to have this neighborhood looking like that. We'll keep these guys to the medians with the trees in the center. Same with this part. There, I like that. A little bit. Whoa, I don't know how that just happened. Sorry, guys. A little bit nicer. And maybe we should do tree median the whole way up here. Sorry, that's just a little bit of aesthetic stuff really quickly. Okay, main thing though is now the main roads, you can kind of see the main arteries, they're ready for more traffic. And we're almost at the point where we're going to have to upgrade these as well. But I'll worry about that in a second. Alright, so first things first, let's pick our spots. So we're going to unzone this stuff here. And we're just going to swap it over. Just go from there. Right away, just for some high density. And we'll do this area here as well. Perfect. Now what we could do is, so the buildings, the maximum they can be is 4x4, is we're going to take out a few of the smaller density ones, and we're just going to put in some high density. Great. And if you don't make them a 4x4, you'll just get a smaller, you know, version of a bigger building, if that makes any sense. So this area, like I said, it's pretty much going to be all high density, so we'll just switch over from here to high density as well. Get rid of that. And then throughout the town... Alright, these guys are on the inside. Forget I did that. What I like to do is, especially against the bigger intersections, is I'll do that again, where I'll just take out a 4x4, and we'll just put in just a few here and there. And then this way, it just adds a nice little bit of extra height. Actually, no, we'll just take out this whole. If you're doing it on the side streets, though, just don't do too many, because you're going to see a lot more traffic going towards the big buildings. But yeah, what I was just saying, though, it looks really nice to have some taller buildings just on your skyline, just like inward like this. Alright, so let's put a few next to the high school. Perfect. And we can actually zone all along here as well. Because the big streets, they're like perfect for taking the large amounts of traffic. And I'm not trying to do too much concentrated into any one particular spot. Just so that I have some variety in the height of the buildings. And again, I don't run into any real traffic headaches just in any one spot, you know? Okay, so that should be a good little start right there. And over here, low density, that's no problem. You know what we will do? We'll toss one more building over here, though. And then maybe just one, actually 2 towers just in here, just for like a little bit of fun. All right, so let's see how that looks. So I'm just gonna run the clock really quickly, and we'll just let these guys come in. And hopefully it should be a very fast transition, since we do have a lot of demand. Which unfortunately is shrinking, but no, like our factories, you know, they suddenly just lost a lot of workers, so they should be hopefully asking for some more right now. No, I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and zone some more. So basically, now that we're putting in high density residential, it's gonna bring a lot more people. They're gonna need larger areas to shop. So what we're gonna do is set up a high density commercial zone over here where the bus terminal is. But we'll do it on this side of the street. And I'm just leaving this space open because I'm going to be pulling the road through here eventually. So this is just to get, you can kind of see, rid of that development. And since we've unlocked them, I was actually going to put them in just a little bit, but we'll drop some now just to kind of help out with the demand. But now that we can see, we have a lot of industrial demand still, right? So what we could do is we could add a little bit more space over to here. Or what we could do is move into office towers, which are also a different type of industry. So we'll put in just a few right here. And office towers are really cool because you can use them as a sound barrier between your high density commercial and your residential towers. So what I mean by that is I would have hypothetically, so these guys are going to make a lot of noise, right? So I would put, I'm not going to because of the intersection, but I would put an office tower or two right here, and then I would put my residential here. And then this way, these guys basically absorb the sound, especially if you have trees with medians too. So the noise from this won't bug these guys. So just, I'll show you more of that later on, but that's just a little quick tidbit right there. All right, so we'll just do a little bit of zoning, not too much. Whenever you're going high density, just do little bits at a time, because you're going to see it has a very, very big impact on your RCI. And just again, going back to the beginning, when I was saying, like, you don't want to unlock your milestones too quickly. So in this case, we don't want to start blowing through, you know, everything too fast. Otherwise, people are going to start craving too much. They're going to need more services, and then dropping them all is going to kill our budget. And we just might run into like a stagnant growth, or we'll just kind of go into the negatives, which doesn't really help the city in the long run. So, all right, let's put in some pipes for these guys. Otherwise, everyone else is okay. And what I think I'm going to do next episode, guys, once we get a little bit more high density established, is I'm going to move over to this side of the highway, and we'll start using this tile. And what we'll do is we'll set up a whole new web of industry right in here, because I think there was some mining. Yeah, there was. So we can do some oil mining, and we'll do some forestry a little bit higher. And if possible, maybe we can set up a little bitty suburb or something. And was there any farming over here? Yeah, okay, so when we unlock the next city tile, because we're going to have to, because that's where the railway is, we'll set up our first of our little county towns, like our little country road kind of feel, little sheriff's office or something. So small town living, expect that right over here for the first, and maybe we'll bring the rail line in. And instead of a highway, maybe we can just have one kind of small little, not road, but like a smaller version of the highway. We'll see how that goes. All right, do we have any of these tall? We do, cool. So you can see they don't come in as these massive skyscrapers right away. You're gonna have to bring the land value up. Just these guys here is gonna require a little bit more to make them happy. So that's why you also want to start a little bit slow. Oh, and a lot of people, you'll see this post, in comments on Reddit everywhere. People will say that like, traffic is broken. Oh, it doesn't use all the lanes. It needs to be fixed. Traffic will use all the lanes if their endpoint requires them to make like a turn, kind of in another direction. See how they're using all the lanes here? Because I'm braking traffic appropriately. If I didn't have wide avenues to turn into, you'd see them using probably the outside or the inside only, not all of them. Well, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting everyone to go up here to go that way. Alright, so I don't want my citizens to use this as kind of a throughway right there. I want them to use that one way. So what we can do is I'm actually going to change the direction of this part into a one-way going down. There. That way you can kind of see it forces traffic to stick to the big roads, or they'll go down that one way. I just love watching full lane optimization right there. So if you're noticing that, especially in the 6 lane wide ones, that your traffic isn't using all the lanes, it just means that like wherever your intersections are, there's not enough lanes to turn into to warrant them to go in whatever lane that they're not in. I hope that made some sense. All right, so how are the high rises doing down here? Yeah, we got a few popping up. Some in here too. You can see it just looks a little bit more realistic in terms of how a city, would be in real life. And having a few high rises dotted here and there. But again, the closer you get to your downtown core, in air quotes, that you can expect that to be pretty much all like high rise developments. But this is the outskirts of the city. Like the big beefy main part of it will be like right over here. That'll be all condos and development. So the further we go this way, the taller the buildings are going to get and the thicker the density will be. This part you can kind of see is kind of a little bit of a mix. And then the islands are probably going to look like this, which will be more like suburbs. Alright, so we have a lot of industrial demand because we brought a lot of people in. Remember the population was 6,500. So now we've got 700 or 800 new people that have just arrived. Many of them are needing jobs. Kind of see over in the industry, there's no one asking for more workers, so that's always a good sign. So what we can do is just do a little bit of expansion in our office zone right here. Okay, so let's get off the upgrade tool. Let's extend these bad boys out this way. Great, and let's go to here. If possible, I would like to avoid that dip. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Great, and we'll just change the direction. Cool. Now, can we get a 6-lane road coming up here, I wonder? I don't see why we shouldn't be able to. Alright, so let's make that go this way. Hopefully, nope. Yes, there it is. Hopefully we can come in where the pillars will let us. And we'll go this way. Just so we get some symmetry. And we'll have these two characters meet up. Sweet. I really like that. And now we can do another on and off ramp right over here. So encourage people to use this. There we go, a little bit of a tighter one. That curve's a little bit odd, but not the worst. I guess it's okay. And kind of the way in. See, I like that. Why can't that be like that? Let's try that for that side. Hopefully we can do it. Oh! There it is. No, I don't want it to be that tight though, you know what I mean? See that? No, that's too steep. Okay, let me try one more time. We'll go from the other way and then maybe we can reverse it. Oh, that's also works. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's reverse that. Cool. Because what's the point of this, you know, if no one's going to use it, right? Alright, now we just need... So that's the way off over here. I think realistically we're just going to have just an entrance on this side. And maybe we can have it go through the intersection like this. Oh, I don't know. Probably not, because that's angled. Alright, so let's be creative. Unfortunately, we're running out of space here, though. And I want to go this way, just because of the... Again, I don't want traffic to cross over itself. So we're going to just go like this. But I want to extend this road first, just so that the pillars hopefully work in our favor. Alright, so much to do. Oh, that's it, that's it. You had it. Perfect, and... Oh my goodness, that's great. Excellent. Maybe we can even make this a little bit... So we know that works. Maybe we can make it even... Oh, you've got this. Come on, where are you? That's it. Oh, that's almost it, but that's better because I want the merging part of it to be a little bit smoother. This game is so mean to me. It's like right there, you know. All right, I'll go. Oh, interesting. All right, let's try this one more time here. Maybe we can go this way. Or improvising. Yeah, that's not quite straight, but do you see what I mean? Just that little bit right in there. That's okay. It's good enough. Otherwise, I'll spend forever doing this little section. Alright, so in the end, we still got the same type of connection point, but realistically, this looks a little bit nicer because it's a bit smoother. At least I think it is. Hopefully you think so too. Alright, so my thoughts are that people, they would drive in if they're coming down this way. You wouldn't necessarily come in and get off here, you would get off here and then take the last little bit on this road. So we'll see how this goes in terms of traffic. You can always add another arm coming down. Let's put some more offices in, since we have a big demand right now for our industry. And that we can just do all on this side. And if you remember what I said, we can only go out to 4, so that's actually good. You know, we'll keep that too. Never mind, I don't know why I'm trying to delete that. That should be okay. And maybe we can sneak some offices in and around here. And just some commercial. Just for funsies right there. Alright, so some more zoning. Alright. Starting to come together very nicely. Okay, so we'll 3-speed this. We'll see if this is enough to tackle the demand right here, or at least get it a little bit more balanced. And then we'll start putting in our services. Excellent, that's definitely making an impact. And just in the name of convenience, you know, these people, they don't have to go all that far for work. And oh, and before I forget, just because a few of you have been mentioning it, when this gets a little bit more beefed up, because I'm probably going to add a few more roads, that's when we'll add the next bus line in. Because this area, as you can see, it's going to need a bus line. Or at least a way to kind of, you know, make a connection with the other bus lines too. Luckily though, if you are living in this area, you're most likely going to walk over to our transportation hub. You can see, especially going to this side, we actually get a lot of foot traffic. Which is good, that means people are using it. I love it. Let's slow this down a bit. That's really cool. We got our police doing patrols, making sure the area is safe. Everybody walking around, doing some shopping, hanging out, waiting for the bus. Meeting friends at the local arcade, perhaps. I don't know. Do people still go to arcades? That was like a really cool thing to do as a kid. Let's go to a arcade of like a movie theater and just play like Mortal Kombat or like Area 51. And it was like 25 cents, 50 cents for a game. Oh my goodness, so much fun. All right. Do you know what I wish though? I wish they had 6-lane roads with a median. Not that there's anything wrong with these guys, I just wish we had one more option. Alright, so we actually did not meet the industrial demand there with our new offices. So we're actually going to have to go ahead and zone some more. Alright, now in the name of traffic, I'm going to be delicate because I want to keep this part open just so we can bring a train in. But what I'm going to do is connect these guys to the transportation hub. And I'm just going to follow the curves of the, not the curves, I'm going to follow the directions of the current one-way roads, just so that we don't really have to disrupt traffic too much. This one, though, is not really going to cooperate, unfortunately. So maybe I can come in at a bit of a different angle. No, you know what? We'll just leave that part open. But we'll keep that like that, and we'll do a continuation of the two-way. And I think we're just going to leave that like this, because, again, I want to leave this a little bit open for the trains. So you know what, let's just work over here in terms of our new development. So don't feel like you have to do 6-lane roads everywhere. I don't normally. It's just the way I would normally build. These neighborhoods is it's basically the same way that I would do like the smaller neighborhoods. So you know, I don't go too far without meeting a 4-way avenue. In this case, I would do 4-way avenues, but I wouldn't go too far without meeting up with the 6-lane road. So you basically are leaning away from having just the regular small streets like this, and you have a lot more of these guys, and then just maybe 1 or 2. So the way this is set up, you can kind of see it's geared more towards a lower population, and you should be able to visually see right away how much bigger these roads are. And in terms of planning, it's just a little bit easier just to move larger amounts of traffic if there's one continuous direction, just kind of forcing people to go. You can kind of do this like one long main street, just breaks off. So there's basically no way to there's no dead end streets. There's hopefully no bottlenecks. And we're eventually going to have to bring in another addition to the highway, and we're going to have it meet down here. Because we can't, unfortunately, rely on this one district to bring all the traffic in. Kind of see this is starting to back up. So what we can do now is just a little bit of an upgrade. And so I'm going to switch over to, you can switch over to, if you want, these guys, but they're only 1 lane, but the cars will move considerably faster. But what I'm going to do just for the industrial part is I'm going to upgrade this to the highway that has, you see the sound barriers? And we'll just bring people in that way. It's going to throw the intersection off just a little bit at first. Sorry, everybody. And we'll just upgrade this going out. Now, sometimes, depends on how the roads are underneath, sometimes you can't actually upgrade because of the pillars. So you may have to just pause the game and just redraw the road. But you can see now we've got a little bit more of a, faster buffer of getting people into the streets or into the city. And now that we're in our residential part, we're putting up the sound barriers, and that'll help huge with the noise pollution. Okay, so I'm going to pause the game because our poor industrial demand is definitely not being met. Everyone wants to work. And just for pure simplicity, it's going to go a little bit like this. A few of these are going to be destroyed just because there's going to be the train coming in, but for the most part, we'll just do some offices like this. And again, this is just to kind of squash that rising industrial demand. You can see almost instantly they're all built, which is very good. And then again, people now can go to this part of the city if they want to work. So they don't necessarily have to go all the way over here now. And then same idea, once we finish this neighborhood, it will get a bus line as well. But, oh, actually, oh, very good. So we need a little bit more shopping, and I think we're good for balance, and then we can just start doing some fine-tuning. That's good like that. And overall, I don't think we have any traffic headaches to worry about here. Let's look at, a lot of people are using our buses. Remember our last number, it was at 150. And now we're at 600, so a lot more people are using the line. But you can kind of see what we need is coverage for this area, and then maybe one that kind of goes and services both. And then I want to add an express line kind of going just along the main road, and that'll just kind of link up everybody, because we need to get these red guys talking to this line. But we'll save that for another episode. Let's take a look at our traffic right now. Okay, so this road, that's a little bit of a headache. That's genuine traffic. Alright, so this we're going to upgrade. Alright, so what we could do is, actually we'll make it into a one-way. I believe that's what's because I have to move the power plant if we're going to switch the road style. But I kind of like where the power plant is. Okay, so we're going to switch over to a one-way, and we're just going to switch the direction going in. And this is a one-way going that way, so hopefully people will move through here. I'm just going to turn the speed up, and then we'll see if this has an improvement. Alright, give that a second, because now this street's getting more traffic. Alright, so it looks like maybe our best bet is to... No, I think this is okay now that I was going to turn the direction around. Make this a one-way going towards. But I think this is okay. This spot does back up a little bit, though. Okay, so here's an idea. Maybe we can have... Oh, that's the incinerator. Never mind. This is getting too complicated. Or actually, shoot, let's do it. Forget it. I'm doing it. Let's go like this. That way you don't just have to go that one way. There we are. See how that looks. Alright. We seem to have a never-ending demand for offices and industry just in general, which is really good. But I think we're going to end the episode right there, guys. So we just touched a little bit on high-density development. I can just kind of do a little bit of a recap. Just try and stick to larger roads. Like, don't necessarily put them all throughout the smaller ones unless they're one-ways or a very well thought-up area. Otherwise, the traffic volume is just, it's going to be too much for your small roads to take. And again, don't be afraid to upgrade to 6-lane roads. Just make sure you're getting use of all the lanes. Otherwise, they're just basically going to be decoration. And if we have intersections that are always getting backed down by people, don't be afraid to put a pedestrian bridge. Or just something like that. Or a little bit of a creative way to get people to, you know, move through the area a little bit faster. Like, this is kind of fun, right? You get people walking up and over, and roundabout seems to be working really well. So yeah, just going back to the info view, you can kind of see traffic. It's a little bit heavy in this area, but in the grand scheme of it all, population 8,000, I wouldn't say we have any real traffic problems. So I'm happy with the way things are going. So yeah, hopefully, guys, this did answer a few of your questions relating to high density. So like, don't be afraid to dot a few of these buildings, especially in the center part of the town. A little bit higher density, but just keep an eye on traffic. Don't go too fast, and you'll kind of see the more people you bring in, it's like you really have to get them working. Like, nobody wants to be unemployed. Otherwise, they're feeling bad. You know, they're drained. They feel like they're gonna move out. They're not really contributing. You know. So we want to have nice contributing members of society in our city, so that the you know, land value, everything goes up, and everyone's happy, and our city is financially successful. All right, guys, I'll end it off right here. I'm kind of going off a little bit of a tangent again, as always, but thanks as always for the support. I hope we had fun in this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, take care. I look forward to reading the comments.